Thanks for joining us. I'm Marlin Bohling, and let's take a look at what's going on with our market activity, and then we'll get an update on the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's take a look at corn markets for you, and on the corn board so far, we'll go ahead and take a look at that December contract because the September right now is in delivery mode. So let's go ahead and see what December is doing here. We have December down 4 1/4 at 365.5. Meanwhile, on the soybean trade, soybeans, they had a kind of a weaker start here. November down 6 1/2 at 862.5. And in the wheat market, we currently have the Chicago wheat on December down 4 1/2 at 458 this morning. In Kansas City wheat on that December contract, it's trading 7 3/4 lower at 389.5. That is still over a dime off of its overnight high. I want to go to find out what's going on in the Mid-Atlantic region. We have Ben Hushon on the line. He's with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. And boy, there's all kinds of chaotic weather going off to your southeast, of course, with Dorian out there spinning around out in the ocean. But I just wondered what's going on locally there where you are in Maryland. Are the crops progressing? Are you getting moisture? What's going on?
Good morning, Marlin. Yes, we are, and hopefully this is not the calm before the storm, but we pretty much continuing on the path as I talked about the last time we talked of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain once a week. Very warm. We're still mostly in the upper 80s, mid to upper 80s. So corn and soybeans are maturing fast. Corn is starting to dry down. In fact, last Wednesday, I believe it was, drove down the eastern shore of Maryland to an answer plot, and there was corn being shelled. Now we're not there yet in our community. Silage is being chopped, but crops with all this dry stretch, crops are definitely starting to dry down pretty aggressively.
Now, I understand from your comments that were made earlier, you're also doing some checking of the fields right now for certain things. What are you watching for?
Well, one of the things we encourage growers to do right now is we had a lot of rain until about a month ago, so they need to really be looking for some stalk rots. In our community, we can have anthracnose, some bacterial stalk rots, diplodia. Fortunately, we don't have any of the charcoal stalk rots, at least that I have come across or my team's come across. But our big advice and suggestion to growers as this drying comes, get out into your fields, hop in the pickup. You can't tell it driving by. Get out into the field and either do the stalk kick test or most people will talk about the lean. Take that stalk, get out in different areas, lean it over 30 degrees, and make sure it comes back. Again, others will go down to about the second node from the bottom and kick it a little bit just to see if you've got strength. It's hard to see what's going on inside. Almost all of the stalk rots I described are starting inside that stalk, and you're not going to see it driving by. And, of course, Marlin, what that'll do is let you go, whoa, I've got a problem in this field. Maybe at 22%, I better go ahead and get started because just like that hurricane comes, we can have severe thunderstorms in areas, and the last thing you want to do is have a really good crop and have one field blow down on you.
Quick question for you, Ben. We have heard so much, and I've seen it firsthand, the soybeans being so delayed and so small in much of the Midwest. I know you have some around that area there. Are they doing okay this year, maturity-wise?
They seem to be, Marlin. And again, I'm not a fan of soybean. Maybe it's just me of soybean yield estimating. It's not how tall they are. You know, people will send us pictures. They're up to their pocket on their shirt, and that's exciting as long as you've got lots of pods and filling out. I've been in some fields where you reach down in and lay the beans over and look at them, and you can see 4 bean pods everywhere. And then I've been in fields where there's 3 bean pods, and you can't find a 4 bean pod. And so it's hard to estimate, but in general, we feel like we have above average soybeans, and time-wise, they are right on schedule, it appears to us.
Okay. Well, I just wondered. I wanted to compare versus the areas west of you in the Midwest. Thanks for the update, Ben. Good to hear from you. Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland. We'll be back in a moment, and we'll get you updated on our livestock trade next. Time to shift gears and take a look at our livestock trade for you on a Tuesday. And on the live cattle board in Chicago right now, we take a look at our live prices to see what they're actually up to. Currently on the live cattle board, we have October down just a dime. Whoops, now down just 8 cents at $98.85, but they are still under $99 at the moment. In December live cattle, now we're 13 cents higher. We're trading at 103.80, and February live cattle are now trading at 108.85. That is down 18 cents on the day, so you can tell everything is just narrowly mixed, but with a slightly weaker bias on the live cattle board. Now let's move on to the feeder cattle trade. So far on the feeders, across the board, we're higher, but boy, not by much in some areas. We have September up 45. You have the October contract just a nickel higher now at 130.85. That's after an early high this morning of 131.72. So we've come off of that by about 90 cents now. November now 25 higher at 130.57. So not moving very far, but they are higher, at least on the feeder cattle side. And then we get to the lean hogs. Now here in the lean hogs, we have a little more excitement going on. We have the October actually showing a price of 65.10 now, and that is up $1.57 from where we closed last Friday. And now keep in mind, we're at 65.10. We had a high this morning of 65.95. We've already come off of that by 85 cents. So that means at one point we were up about $2.35 or $2.40 this morning and kind of backed off of that. Currently, you have the December contract on the lean hogs up 67. We're at 64.05. February up $1.23 at 72.65. I noted on the livestock summary that we had from Friday, the hog market was really weaker. We had the carcass basis hog nationwide about $2.14 lower, and the range was $49 to $57.50 nationwide. Cash basis, the live basis hogs were down $1.12 at $44.39 for the weighted average price last Friday, John.
Okay, thank you very much, Marlin.
You're welcome.